Hey guys, Weir, roadrooter.com. Good morning, Hornesies. I want to talk about this story that came out of the Northern California wildfires. And this is something that's unbelievably crazy going on right now. It's not over. Fires are still burning, but this story just hit me because my uncle lived right near these guys, and he got out safely. And these people survived. An older couple survived 6 hours by standing underwater and standing in a pool and dunking their heads and coming up for air for 6 hours in a pool at their neighbors. And it's just one story out of a zillion. But here we go. Jan Pascoe and her husband John were trapped. The world was on fire and Jan was hyperventilating from fear. Then they remembered their neighbor's pool. You've got to calm down, Jan, she told herself. You can go underwater and hyperventilate. At 12:40 a.m. on Monday, Jan called 911. She reached a dispatcher. We're going to get into our neighbor's pool. Should we do this? The dispatcher said, get safe anywhere. Please, we will be in the pool, Jan replied. This is where we are. In my naivete all night long, she would tell me later, I thought someone was going to come get us. Jan, 65, and her husband John, 70, debated whether to get in. She wanted to right away, but John said, hold off, the water's cold, let's see what happens. As they stood at the edge of the pool, the neighbor's house caught fire. A big tree next to the pool went up in flames, the railroad ties flaming, the concrete steps leading to the pool ignited. The heat was whoa, John said. He stripped off his pants and jacket, wearing only a t-shirt, turned to Jan and said, jump in now. And here's a picture of this elderly couple and what was going on around them, and it's the pool. She was wearing a thick tank top and light pajama bottoms. Her glasses had disappeared. They submerged themselves in the blackened, debris-filled water. They grabbed t-shirts to hold over their faces to protect themselves from embers when they surfaced for air. They moved to the part of the pool farthest from the house. John was worried about having to tread water or hang on to the side, which could be dangerous with all the burning objects flying around. Blessedly, the pool had no deep end. It was about 4 feet deep all the way across. To stay warm, they held each other. They stood back to back. They spoke about their deep love for each other and their family. Jan watched the moon for clues about time passing. It didn't move. She waited for the house to burn to the ground, for the fire to pass so they could warm themselves on the concrete steps. The wind howled and the sound of explosions filled the air. Propane tanks, ammunition, they had no idea. I just kept going under, she said. It was the only way to survive. And I kept saying, how long? It is brutal. Sorry. How long does it take for a house to burn down? We're freezing. She tucked her phone into her shoe at the pool's edge, and when she saw it next, it had melted. At bedtime, there had been no hint of the conflagration to come. Around 10 p.m. on Sunday, Jan had walked out on the deck of her home and said, John, her home. She and John, an artist, retired wine broker, had built in the house above Santa Rosa. This is the exact same spot where my uncles lived through this thing. That's why it's so hard. These families are getting destroyed. Their lives, people are dying. Everything they worked for so long is just gone. Literally gone. And this story just hit me. Here's the couple again. I'm going to play the video of them talking about it. They're probably less emotional than I am by now, but here they are.
And I just saw flame.
No, this isn't the one. Hang on one second.
our daughter called from San Francisco, and she said, "You've got to evacuate." And we didn't evacuate right away. She said, in 20 minutes, she called us back. She said, "You got to get out of that house." And I looked out my window, and there was a wall of flame out my window. So that's how fast it happened for us. We had no warning, 0 warning, nothing. I have alerts on my phone, nothing.
This was our only option, and so we
tried to get out in our cars.
We ran down here, and we found our way into this pool, and waited until we needed to get in, and then the fire got here, and that tree behind us went up, and when that tree went up, it was hot, and that's when we got into the pool. We didn't get out. We watched this house start burning and burn to the ground, and the longer we were there, the more I said, okay, we are riding it out, we're going to be okay. When it stopped burning to the ground, I figured there wasn't going to be anything coming into the pool from the house, so we got out and tried to get warm. I sat by the stairs over here next to a railroad tie that was still burning, and after that, we waited until it got light enough to walk out, and we walked out. The most terrifying part was when that tree went up, and then this tree, after it got over here, that went up because the heat was pretty intense, and we're very lucky. Feel very lucky.
Deep sadness, but we feel very grateful, and I'm very emotionally upset about many, many, many people that lost their houses.
Yeah. I mean, we empathize with everybody else that's in the same boat with us, and there are lots of them.
Friends and,
we're lucky,
and family.
And there are those that didn't get out, and my heart goes out to those families. We lost everything, and we have to start over. After being here for 35 years, it's a little hard to get my head around, but I'll be fine. We'll be fine. We have each other, and that's something that we
have our family.
really found was
my sister. This is my sister. We have our family.
Was really what came out of all this. We have each other, and we'll be fine.
So this is one of so many stories. I mean, thousands and thousands of houses have burned down. And there is an end in sight. I believe the weather is going to be conducive to helping put these fires out. But it won't be today. It won't be tomorrow. I heard that a lot of them won't be out until later next week, which gives them time for another wind burst to come up and spread the fire. So many people in that area have literally lost everything. It's weird to think how close it is to when it happens to you. It makes you empathize with everybody who's going through all these natural disasters now in Puerto Rico, in Houston, in Florida, all over, everywhere. And it's amazing that your life can change so fast. For my aunt and uncle, very similar story to what they're probably neighbors with these guys. They had to drive down the hill. My uncle didn't even think they were going to get out. He didn't have time to grab anything. He jumped in an RV. And they had an RV. So they're living in their RV now at my dad's house, half in the RV and half in my dad's house. And they're like, they don't want to be an inconvenience to my dad. And my dad and my stepmom are saying, "Are you crazy? You're staying here for as long as you need to, forever if need be." They're an older couple. And they keep saying, "No, we'll stay in the RV. Thanks for letting us park it out near your driveway." But everybody in that area is bringing people in and taking donations. I don't know where to send donations. My nature doesn't trust anything official. So I might find something that I really, can latch onto and send it to you guys and say, hey, if you feel like donating, send it to this group, because I know it's going to get to the people who need it. But I don't know what that is. So at some point I'll come out and do that. But I did want to share this story with you and the the things that are going on in Northern California. Born and raised here, lived here all my life, and friends and family live right in this area. Luckily, everybody I know has survived without injury to their persons, but definitely destruction of property is all over the place. And it'll be years to rebuild or whatever they plan to do with the people whose houses are destroyed. I remember going through the Oakland fire in 1991. It took 4 or 5 years to get back to anything normal in the area that I lived. And I did evacuate during that fire, and I had a lot of friends who lost their houses. I think there was 22, 23 people died in that. This one's already up in the 30s, I believe, with a couple hundred missing. And being missing is not good. Yes, there was like 70 cell towers that had gone down, but most of them are back up now, and there's still a couple hundred people missing. So it is brutal up here in Northern California. I'll check in later with more information on potentially, probably tomorrow, on other things that are going on in life, because a lot's going on in all areas. One takeaway is be ready for anything. Be mobile, be ready to hunker down if you need to. If there's the expected financial calamity. A lot of secrets I hear are going to be revealed very soon, so that will surely make people take notice. It's time for people to wake up and stop believing what the media and the government tells you. I do know that on October 20th is the last day that Trump can continue to hide the CIA and the FBI files on the Kennedy assassination. Will he do it? You know, a bigger question is, why has every president since he was killed hidden this information from the public? We have a right to know. Obviously, there's some very horrible secrets that are being hidden from us in plain view. Hidden in plain view, meaning every president just shuts the door and says, no, we're not going to tell you that the FBI was involved. We're not going to tell you who was involved in this, potentially even a past president, as in Bush. A lot of rumors about that, and his name apparently is all over this thing. He did work for the CIA as an operative at the time, and supposedly he was in Dallas. And it's ugly. It is ugly, but we trudge along, and we do our best. This is Bix Weir, roadtoroota.com, and if you guys are of the right mind, check out any charity in the Northern California area, and find one that you think is a good one, and donate if you can. This is Bix Weir. I will talk to you later.